Hi everyone. For this week's Stencil Saturday video, we are working with the Bullseye Stencil. And I'm going to kind of do this as though it were a block design. So I've marked the stencil on here, and I did go ahead and stitch around the outside here, which would be the edge of the block. So if you've ever taken a class from me, you've probably seen this design. This is probably one of my very favorite things to stitch using the Bullseye Stencil. And what we're going to do is we are just simply going to fill each of these rings with a different design. You can pick any design you like. I like to use two different designs. So I'll kind of do it one design on the outside and the inside with the second design in the middle ring. So the key to this is that you want to pick two different designs that are different enough from each other that you can make out that they are different designs. As an example, if you were to do, maybe you wanted to do loops in one ring and then pebbles or swirls possibly in another one, those might be very similar. So when you're done, it may very well just look like like this is just totally quilted down, and you're not probably going to be able to distinguish between the two different designs. You could also put something in the center circle if you like. I like to leave it open. You can stitch it or not. I do it both ways. This time I don't think I will actually stitch the circle. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And so what I like to do is kind of start on the side here, I guess in the middle. One other thing I will say is that one other thing you want to think about, we're going to start on the outside here. We're going to put one design in here, bump into the center and do one design. But now we need to be able to get either over to this next one or the one below it. So you want to do something that you'll be able to travel back through to get out into the next one, okay? So these are my go-to for these. I like them to be very different. So we're just going to do like a zigzaggy back and forth thing the whole way around here. And then some little pebbles or pearls in there because they're very different. One's very straight, geometric, and one is not, so you really can see the difference between the two. So I'm just gonna start, and in this case we're not stitching these rings, we're just using them as a boundary. So I just want to keep these little back and forth zigzags in between these two rings to fill it up. They can be as tight or as far apart as you want them to be. That's entirely up to you. The tighter you make them, just realize that that's going to take quite some time to stitch. Just work my way the whole way around. When I get to this side, now I'm going to go into this next ring, and I'm just going to do my little circles. Again, just fitting them in between those two rings. I like to just do mine like a figure 8. At this point, I'm going to go into this next ring, and I'm going to switch back to this little back and forth zigzag. And that does enough, that's enough stitching with this particular design anyway, that it's going to kind of pop that center circle forward. Like I said before, you could easily at this point go in here and stitch the circle. That's, personal preference. That's entirely up to you. I guess I'll go ahead and stitch it and try to stay on there. So what I need to do though is go around another time. So I can sneak up along there and go right around one of these circles, up here, and right into this next loop, or ring, excuse me. And then I'll just work my way around again. And you see this could easily be like a one-sided feather, and put it on the outside and do the opposite direction on the inside ring, and maybe in the center you do the circles. It'd be act kind of as the spine. So I'm just going to zigzag my way around here and hop right into this next ring with my little circles. And then right into my next ring of little zigzags. And I guess I have to stitch this circle since I did it in the other one. But on this one I'm just going to end. So I can move down here to the next set. Get rid of this thread over here. And I'm just going to come over here and do the last two. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish these bottom two. Okay, now that I'm finished stitching those, then as you look at this, you can see we have this center kind of curved, on point area. Depending on the density that you want, you might decide to leave that open, as well as these other, little areas. And that's entirely up to you. To me, I feel like I want to stitch these two lines, just so these aren't so open. So I'm going to just come over here and stitch these lines real quick. Scoop down the edge here so I can get over to do this last line. Okay. Get rid of these other threads and grab my little scrubby brush here and get rid of these stencil markings. Mostly, anyway. Okay. Okay, so let me turn my light off because I think maybe, yeah, you'll be able to see the texture a little bit better. Makes it kind of dark, but it's some really great texture. And again, I think it's one of these things where because we used a stencil, you know, you see this done and it just looks quite intricate. Like, how did you know to put those there and stuff? So I think it's a really great kind of bang for your buck. You get this awesome texture and these kind of circly designs. So I hope you guys might give that a try and experiment with adding all of your favorite designs in there. These are just my favorites. But like I said before, you could easily, this could be feathers out here and feathers in here. And then these little pearls would act as a spine. So I hope you guys will give it a try. And I will see you next time. Bye.